All right, welcome back to the shop. Working on a 97 F350 today. Got a shifter problem. Got the doors open because it is hot in here. This thing, just floppy. It's either going to be the cable or the shifter on the column, which I have a bad feeling it's the shifter, not the cable. But about to pop these panels out. I'll get this some access to this real quick, and we'll let you know what we find out here. All right, pardon the annoying noises, but we're gonna pop this ignition switch out so we can get this cover off. So you just press that tab, put the key in, turn to the first click, and it'll let you pull it out. And then I can take this column down. You got to screw this lever out, tilt, so you can get it out of that hole to get that bottom cover off. And then I should be able to slide my top cover out of there like that. We're gonna put the key back in. All right, so kind of like I was expecting, it's not the cable. I mean, the cable may have a problem, but it's the linkage. It's broken in half. It's on top of the column, but I'm gonna put this camera up under here and see if we can see. You can see on the bottom how it's broken too. Right here, it's broken clean off. See that? Springs hanging out of it. It is broke. This column will have to come down or all the way out. I'm not sure yet to repair that. Man, got my new hat dirty. Got my new Hot Rod Dave hat dirty. All right, we're gonna have to take that column down to fix it, but we got to find parts first, so we're gonna get those rounded up. Okay, so I had to order some parts for the Ford. The steering column piece that is broken, I'm gonna show you right here. This is not too blown out. It's Dorman OE Solutions steering column shift tube and plunger assembly, part number 905-100. Got it for 30 bucks at the local O'Reilly, and it was in stock. So we got that coming in the morning. They're going to deliver it to me, and we will start taking that column apart and see what it takes to replace that piece, which is basically the shift linkage from your shifter to the cable that goes to the transmission. So we'll figure that out tomorrow. It's supposed to be delivered around 10 a.m. We'll get back on it in the morning and try to knock that out. All right, so we're gonna need to drop this column down because the shift mechanism's on top. So we're gonna pop this panel down. It looks like, I don't know, 7 or 8 millimeter deals there. Maybe this will pop out after that. That's all it was there, and there's just clips in here. It just pops out. So okay, so I pulled the two Torx bits out that hold this wiring connector up, and then I pulled this little wiring mechanism that hooks to the shifter up here. It just has a loop. I don't know if you can see that. There's a little wire loop. I just want to pull that down because as I lower this column down, it started tightening up on this. I don't want to break it, and it's already broken right there. And no, I did not do that. It was already like that. So now I can finish taking my bolts out. There's 4 nuts that hold this column up, and I can let it hang down to the seat. Hopefully it'll just rest on the seat and I can get to the top and work on everything up there. And this is what you call a clean job right here. These construction trucks, man, look how dirty it is. Good grief. I mean, all the way up in the dash. It's filthy. So this is kind of a fun looking mechanism here. Let me stick the key back in the ignition so I can turn the shifter. See that? That's where it's broke. Fun, fun, fun. Fun, fun, fun till the daddy took the T-bird away. Oh boy. Alright, parts are on the way. I haven't got them yet, so we're waiting on that. Alright, so here is our mechanism. It's got a rod inside of this deal. I'm not sure exactly how it works yet, but I'll be figuring that out, of course. Got to dig in here and pop all this stuff loose real quick. Okay, so I slid this boot back. It's real clean. We'll take these 30 Torx bits out, and probably have to get down in under the dash and pop the end loose. It broke off. It's got the cable attached to it down there. Yeah. Alright, so oh, that piece was loose. I didn't loosen that. That was already like that. So that was attached to that. That like so. It's windy out here, guys. Sorry about the noise. So that was attached like that. So we've got to take this shifter out. It's just a pin. It does have a wiring connector you got to unplug. It's self-explanatory, guys. If you're getting in there doing this job, it's just kind of, you know, look at what you got going on. So there's that I've got to unpin, and I've got to load that spring in and attach this lever. Hey, man, it's really windy out here. I get dirt kicked in my eyes. Whew. All right, so we're gonna probably move this inside to transfer these parts, get out of this little wind tunnel we've got going on here. It's kicking dirt and dust in my eyes, and dang. All right, so we're gonna take this into the shop. But as you see, that's it's not too difficult. I took this loose and just kind of held it up and slid it out the side. I mean, you could probably take this Torx off back here. Probably take this one back here off and just take all that out, but I figured it was just as easy to do what I did. And you can see the cable all the way in the back here. Just take a flathead and pop that off off the ball. All right, so we're moving it into the shop here. We can kind of pay attention to what we got going on. This is obvious, and take this linkage off. This is where our shift cable attaches to. All right. Set that there. Believe that. Okay, so that goes all the way through there and it's pinned in, and then this piece and this spring gets stuffed into the end there, and that goes through it. I see how it works now. Okay. Like my hammer. All right. Alright, well, it's not driving through. Okay, so your gear shifter is that doohickey there. Alright. Alright. Clean her up a little bit with some brake clean. We're gonna put a little oil on her. Starting to think I didn't have a big enough hammer. Alright, pin is out. Is good. Is at the bottom. Backwards. It is. This is in here backwards. Ah. Okay, so that was installed in the box. It was in the box like that. So I just assumed that was right, but it is not. Take the opportunity to knock all this construction worker dirt off of here. may have to stick that in the press. Scared if I keep banging on it, I'm gonna break it. Alright, I stuck it in the vise, just squeezed it in, and then I just tapped it till I got down to these spines here. I can keep going all the way through, but I really don't think I need to. It is a mad tight fit, so I'll clean the nastiness off the spring. And we're gonna put some wheel bearing grease on it. Stick it in the hole down here, and then that bolts onto the back and keeps that spring in. Grease that baby up like that. This has got a spring, right? So we're gonna try to walk it down evenly. Back and forth. Alright, so those are tight, and those were loose on the piece that had broken off. It was just barely on there. So we got that deal there. Now it's spring loaded. Okay. So now we gotta get the shifter pin out. Not breaking any of this nonsense here. Put a little grease in our new hole here. one's got. This one's got a clip down in there. Remove that. Insert it there. Seems to be working now. Something doesn't feel right. All right, now it feels good. It didn't feel like it was operating for a second there. All right. So you're in there and you're like, oh, I need to take it out of gear. Nope, pull it out. And there she blows. That should be it. I think we just need to reinstall it now. And we should be good to go. All right, so we're gonna try to film some of this, putting it back in. I guess I'm touching something and grounding it. And it makes that start dinging. All right, so you've got to have the gear shifter down enough so the rod that's coming through it, this is kind of like park neutral, reverse, that kind of stuff. So when I turn the key on, see that going back and forth right there? That's what holds your park, and that's what locks it in and all that stuff, and where you can kind of feel the gears when you're running down through them. So I got to tighten all this up. I just had to take a second to figure out how to position everything, and then we'll get it back up and button up the bottom of it. This little part right here is where that little wire, this right there goes. All right, got the little boot back in position. It kind of clicks under here, and then there's a push tab right here. It just kind of slides down in that slot. Got the ignition switch back on. I got this, that's your cable for your indicator right there. Lets you know if you're in park or not, what gear you're in. It just hooks up there, and you can adjust it with that little wheel right there. Ignition switch has got a rod that goes into a slot, so you got to pay attention what you're doing putting that back in. Not difficult though. We're going to take, well, I got to do the top cover first. I'm going to tilt this back down. Reinstall our column covers. All right, so we're back in business here. Check it out. Got this old 97 F350 shifting again. Let's see if we can get it to crank. He's got some injector problems. Gotta wait for the Z-glow plugs. It's got 262,000 on it. Ooh, come on, baby. Ooh. Oh no, battery gonna die on me. Oh man. See if this thing will crank now. This thing hits a lick. Must have a big camshaft in it. It's got a bad leaking injector, multiple leaking injectors possibly. He warned me of it, but I didn't know it was gonna be that bad. There we go. All right. She shifts. That's a good thing. Well, let me take this thing off the battery charger. In here. That's a big one too. Look at that. Fortunately, all these windows work. All these windows work. That's a big giant one right there. Get this oil leaker out of my driveway. going to wrap this one up. I appreciate you watching. I hope you learned something from it. Please give me a like. If you haven't subscribed, hit that subscribe button right down there on the screen in your right, my left corner. Come back and see me again. If you've already hit that subscribe button and you're returning, I appreciate you watching again. We'll see you in the next one. Peace.